When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they did their time, they did their time. When they did their time, they did their time. What kind of people they see? What kind of people? You freedom fighter, you helping our women. Freedom fighter, you helping our children. Freedom fighter, you destroy our country.
Because our son who is master here in Canada, he will not understand.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they did their time, they changed their mind. When they did their time, they changed their mind. What kind of people they see? What kind of people they see? You freedom fighter, you raping our people. You freedom fighter, you killing our children. Freedom fighter, you destroy our country.
One of them almost had to go to the Romy house. Then the brothers had to the money. They didn't tell me they had it. Oh, then when I heard what was happening, it was really super duper. Our main, our money, Jim Bunny.
Oh, yes, indeed. What a great day. And what a beautiful opportunity it feels to be back behind these microphones to engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. It is a pleasant Thursday morning, just right after the Decoration Day, where we are gather across the different grief to pay homage and also bring some degree of sanity to the resting place, resting places of our loved ones and dearest departed souls. And we come back this morning to continue from exactly where we stopped, and wish the souls of those many compatriots to rest in perpetual peace. And may light perpetual shine upon them. We all play our part on yesterday in different forms and manner, by cleaning, decorating, painting, and of course remembering, honoring, the memory of our loved ones, our deceased parents, and national leaders.
When they were coming, they said,
it was a great day. A nation that does not look back is certain to stumble along the line, and that is the reason why the crafter of the Lord decided that after it all, after all of the noise, we have to set this one day aside, that we go back, sit down, and reflect, and you remember the contribution of our forebearers. We honor them, we dignify them. The Decoration Day has come and gone. We are back. We are back to begin from exactly where we stopped on the issues. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning. Welcome back to the nation's premier breakfast platform, the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. Where this is where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development, without fear nor favor. We speak truth to power, and of course, exactly what we know how to do best. Too many things to talk about, lots of things happening in the country as always, and this is where you get the analysis of those issues. It has been a busy 3 to 4 days of panic, fear, concerns. With the news of encroachment on our territories by Guinean soldiers. So when it all started, of course, the government of Liberia remained tight-lipped for a great deal. A great deal of time, even though some officials, senior members of the government, in fact, the minister of local government was seen there. The defense minister was also seen there in some sort of negotiations, and of course around the issues. But yet still, we were still seeing videos and of course of actions that are absolutely inimical to international law from our Guinean counterpart. But again, the government of Liberia has sought to engage diplomatically, even though citizens were yearning for assurance. But our government wasn't. The government failed the deployment of soldier officers of the armed forces of Liberia and all the joint security members immediately when the situation was going on was going to undermine their diplomatic constructive engagement with their counterparts in Conakry. So they sorted that out as panic and of course fear grew and grew. confrontation started. The youths of Foya and other surrounding towns how to stand up in bold defiance and defense of their land. But is that the responsibility of the young people? Should the young people be the one to do that? It's a critical analysis that we're going to run around this morning. Our job is to ensure that we provide the necessary education where they are needed. And that's exactly the piece of job that we have to do. Up to this point, do we understand what exactly happened? Are we of any knowledge as to understand what is the actual reason that caused what we all been seeing on our social media feeds? Guinea, crossing the river, coming all the way to the border town, with all of our joint security officers deserting their post. And then they hoisted their country flag on our part of the land. But we are not seeing any joint security member there in all of the video we've seen. So people like us, critical mind, are like, but what's going on? That is an exposure of vulnerability, and we need to look at that as a country and people. Then we come back inside and talk about the land grab and all of that. Yes, we told you that we're going to insist on this. We're going to get to the bottom of it and expose all of those associated. And yesterday was also very busy for me as I engaged a lot of people. I engaged a lot of people. And so the moment we started to have this conversation, a lot of people started coming forward. And beginning next week, different families will be coming in here to lay down. When you hear names of very powerful people in the country that are behind some of these land issues, sometimes you see, oh, Yellow Machine go there. But when they have the opportunity to the national platform, you see them speaking as if to say they're speaking for the people, not knowing a lot of them are behind these things. You will be shocked to hear names. You'll be shocked to hear names of people who are using their proximity to power, their position, their affluence, and their look, man. You see, this is a beautiful thing. We gotta face this country. Okay, and then corruption issue. So they the head of the ombudsman, Councillor Finlay Kanga, has resigned. Why did he resign? Remember the other day we discussed with you an investigative report that found him culpable and recommended his dismissal to the office of the president. The president did not do so. The president decided to protect the man in the face of established violation of the very code of conduct that he was appointed to man, and protect and ensure that there is integrity and, of course, ethic within governance and leadership in our country. The man himself fell flat of these principles, and an internal investigation proved and established that recommended he be dismissed, and of course with other issues. The president did not do that. The man has resigned like some kind of dignified man, and he has left. But folks, that's exactly what it is. A selective approach, a selective fight of against corruption. The whole balu around why Nathaniel McGill was being cleared. The LACC called a press conference detailing and announcing a whole list of 28 other people that were cleared. And the list is flooded with Unity Party officials. So you see how these folks, these politicians are very, very dishonest. left all the ones and went for Nathaniel McGill and tried to fool you again. So if we must question the integrity of the LACC in the case of clearing Nathaniel McGill, then we also have to question them for clearing all the other Unity Party folks. It has to be like that because the same measure or the same yardstick was used, the same investigative methodology was applied, and the outcome came the same way. Bill McGee Jones, that's going into the office of the president, now was equally conflicted and had some issues with the LACC. They were investigating and declare him too. Folks, the shape and size of the conversation for you this morning. My name is Abu Sharif. It's always a good thing to be here, and thanks for joining our friends, the KK Rider, the taxi drivers, and all of you folks, those going to the market, and of course, our students. Good to have you join us. The Student Unification Party had a press conference, and they've announced protests on the 14th of April. But next we will talk to some of the leaders from the student movement. Let's take a buzz of our team song. When we come back, we rumble through the issues. This one right here, we'll be right back.
Musical. There are crowds in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. That they can't take your luggage. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, I mean you check it. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm a part to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-opener, Omer Sensaya.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia. It's good to be back. Okay, let's recognize some of our Well, folks joining us this morning quickly. Samuel Light Cooper. Okay, so good morning, guys. This is Mohammed Bangali Dole. He says, good morning, Abu Sharif. I'm watching live from Logantown. It's a Bushro Island, Pohako Few. William W. Wulu. William W. Wulu says, Labrador Civil Rights Movement official spokesperson is watching live from Upper Catwell, Monrovia, Liberia. Charles, we are good morning, Freedom FM family. My name is Charles. We are following from Jacobtown. This is A. Sinel Dagose Mega. Good morning, Freedom FM. Following from Dabola Town, Papa District. Hiton Wulajedo. Hiton is joining. He says, I'm watching from Logantown. Mohammed B. Fode. Good morning, Freedom family. I'm following you guys from Grand Cape Mount, Kola Corner District. This is Amar Jala Kamara. He says, good morning, Freedom Radio Liberia family and my beloved and peace-loving people of Salaye District. I'm following live from Brussels as usual. Alice Williams, good morning. Following from District number 10, James B. Zofle. I'm watching from Logantown behind Lefoco Matches Factory, King Peter Town. Wendino Costa, good morning. Freedom FM, I'm watching from Saino County, District number 1, Greenville. Thanks a lot. This is Fode Kaba. Keep up the good work from Fode Kaba. This is Emmanuel Estamba. Good morning, Freedom FM Radio. I'm following you from the Rabos International Airport. Ansu Suleiman Sayon says, good morning. Samuel Light Cooper, good morning, brother Abu M. Sharif. I'm following from Cardwell. Malu F. Fofana, good morning. I'm following from 20th Street. Venetia Junior Bar is watching from Nico Town. K. Henry T. Tour, good morning. I'm watching from Cardwell. He says, Jeremy Dwyer is watching. This is Arnold Taylor. Arnold Taylor, good morning. Abu watching from Michigan. This is okay. And then you come back, say, I'm watching from Carl Few. That's Talor Bowie, James Lamy, Cowboy Widow is watching from Mangibi County. Something W. Wimmer. Good morning. I'm watching you from nighttime around the SKD Sports Complex. These are views so far. Keep dropping your comment on some of our talking points right here. We'll definitely read them out. Let's continue to engage. So yes, folks. Okay, let me see what I want to do here quickly. So like I said, Finlay Kanga has resigned. Contrary to what the committee investigating Councillor Kanga recommended to the president's office. And the president graciously accepted the man's resignation. Right? And we bring these things up to let you know that when you hear other people saying that the fight against corruption is selective, it's partisan, and, this is exactly why they say it. Sometimes the president will say, oh, investigation has to happen, blah, blah, blah. But then an investigation is done. The investigation indicts the man. The investigation recommended what should be done in the instant case. But the president ignores that. And that very person tendered a letter of resignation. And the president delightfully embraces that resignation letter. And there's a statement he wrote. Go on e-marshal. The president is seemingly extolling the man for violating the code of conduct, right? And getting himself involved with issues that are very, very irresponsible in the workplace. Employ people, government money, employ people into government, into the public sector. Then you design a scheme that is also stealing from the country, right? And then the man due pay is 1,000 and change. Then you tell that man to be paying you $500. But are you the integrity man supposed to be making sure that nobody, carry out unethical attitude in the public service? If that kind of thing come to you now as the president, so Mr. President, the man he appointed to head the ombudsman to ensure that your government works in accordance with the code of conduct. That man went there, he taking people's salary, he cutting people's salary. When we pay the people 1,000, the man can call 500 from it. Then he tell the people to be giving him $35 every month. Mr. President. Right? As a president who means well in the fight against corruption, that would be your classic example. Dismiss and subject the man to prosecution. Forward the man to the Ministry of Justice. Then we know, Mr. President, you're not being selective in your fight against corruption. But no, when you keep your time, you delay. The media, in fact, we had to put pressure because it has been going on and other people, but we have the louder voice. So the moment we talk, it was on Monday, yeah? It was on Monday that I raised the issue here. And then yesterday, the man resigned. So you see, because they know that the partner listen to us. And the partners follow us religiously and call them and tell them and bring it to their attention. The partners have also verified that whenever we bring issues up here, they're real. So we don't care about those of you that are sitting there, you don't even know what is going on. So they took it up. And then tell them to resign. So the president graciously accept the resignation of council. Look at that. So you get one criminal, you celebrate that criminal. Then the other criminal, you demonize that other criminal. So is that the way it's supposed to be? I said no. But again, the definition of transparency, accountability, and fight against corruption with Mr. Boakai is slightly different from the conventional definition and understanding of how we know government is supposed to operate and leadership is supposed to tackle issues of economic sabotage, so to speak. But if the matter of Samuel Tuwe, no matter how there is a national security protection, the president is willing to instruct his solicitor general to thwart the law and incriminate the man and achieve the political objective, right, of incarcerating him because the man is Samuel Tuwe. But Afine Kanga, right? No, the brother was not dismissing. The man that United Party man, the man was the one providing legal services for Mr. Boakai, so-called campaign, loudmouth propagandists. Fine Kanga. When the other man say AK-47, what, that Fine Kanga out there. The other man, they went and signed for the man. And escorted the man out of the country. Violating the laws that Fine Kanga came against stood. Everybody. So now you feel, oh, yeah, you know what the man do, you know, correct? But my man, you resign honorably. This is unfair. But we leave it right there. At least the public know. So yesterday was Decoration Day in Monrovia and across Liberia, of course. Again, Liberians demonstrated that George Weah is their man. That George Weah is still at the core of their heart. No matter the hate, no matter the political machinations against him, what have you, every moment, every opportunity, to come out in the public, the people turn out. The people show up. Yesterday was one. And almost like every other time. As much as he tried to be low-key, try to play low-key and what have you, just like every other ordinary citizen, like the vice president said, that we are an ordinary citizen. My people, you know what he said? Just like every other ordinary citizen was going to pay homage and respect to their loved ones at the different graveyard or cemeteries. Yeah, there's a difference, right? Former President Weah was equal to going to the graveyard to pay respect to his late mother, right? The whole place became George Weah. The crowds. But guess what? At the same time, the current president was going to pay respect to past leaders right here at the pavilion. Central Monrovia. Nobody. Nowhere. Because the people are feeling the terror of your leadership. They're feeling the terror of your leadership. So your presence does not ignite any degree of excitement in them. Those are the facts that come. Those are the facts that you deduce from these occurrences. You look one side, you see this is the leadership, this is the president that's currently serving. Why do you think whenever he comes around, the people don't see it as a moment to be excited? What is there to be excited about? There's nothing. Your police brutalizing the people, taking their goods, breaking their homes, your public works, right? Under your watch, there's a clandestine attempt and scheme design, grabbing people land, abusing power, taking people land by force. These displeasure, these hurts are with the people. So your presence ignite, a sort of resentment, and the demonstrate by going about their regular business. No matter the kind of serene you put on, the serene can disturb the whole time. Nobody will stay calm outside. The former president that moves around with any serene as soon as the man come. But how the people can know see the former president there? So you see, the people giving the grace sheet right here. These moments are just the examination, the examination finished. They're giving the grace sheet right here. Every opportunity, the Liberian people can just tell you exactly what they want and what they don't want. Every slight opportunity, Liberian people clearly. I mean, people with the eyes to see sees it. But the other people who feel like, oh no, we don't care. These things is none of our business. Do you know what it means to spend 15 years of your life going to school? And the singular purpose is to become better in reasoning, right? In decision making. And then after all of those years, some more than 15, you get your master's degree. Then your thought pattern is still ordinary. That is a slap. That you just did not go to school because other people wearing uniform and they're sitting in class. You just did not attend the university because, other people are dressing nicely. No. That's the purpose. So that your thinking faculty will be upgraded. Your ability to study and make reason out of situation, understand and see things. It's no longer ordinary, it's upgraded, it's enhanced. That's how it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, some of our master degree folks, when they open them all on an instant, you'll be like, wow, are you kidding me? They see where the coconut seller selling. The coconut seller is talking. The same logic he's pushing. And the master degree man pushing the same logic. The same thing. And you're like, but what's going on? Extremely sentimental. Void of logic, reasoning, right? And insightfulness. So what differentiates you from the man who wasted his life and did not go to school? What's the difference? If the man who did not go to school speaks to a matter, and you who went to school speak to the same matter, your logic come and meet the same place. You see, one man a former president. Anywhere the man go, the people can come outside behind the man. The other men are sitting president. Anywhere you go, the people can run away from him. They say, oh, my man, look at that thing here for yourself. Well, how you think they're going to interpret? They say, oh, we are not coming back. You even won't discuss, oh, we are not coming back. We'll steal the election. But when we reach to that part, what you say you steal the election or you not steal the election, we not reach there, that. They say, oh, steal the election. No, they're not that part. But your own observation, your own look of things. What you think is the message and what you think informing, and the people action and attitude towards the other man, and what's informing their action and attitude towards the other man, does it ring a bell to you? And my man, leave that thing. We'll be the man. Say no, we ain't talking about who will be their friend, who will not be their friend. But you, the school, what am I passing into now? The way you look at it, they two things. When the other man can, the poke can come outside. When the other man can, the poke can go by in there, or they be doing a different thing. Then you go back, you look at, you do comparative analysis of some of the activities that defines, and the both of them, leadership and what have you. And you say, oh yeah, it's a moment to even adjust. It's a moment to make adjustment and say, you know what, gentlemen, this thing we own so these are soft communication that the people sending to us. But we're fighting you. But the men we trying to unpopularize, whenever the man can, the man is growing popularity more. And the men we trying to popularize, the man is getting unpopular more. You see, I don't come here will try helping you small to pull you to your senses, but you don't follow. You're only interested in passing on draconian laws and what have you. The Press Union of Liberia, I also spoke to you about what I believe was an attempt, a clever attempt, and a deliberate attempt on the part of the Boakai administration to stifle press freedom and, of course, deny the very fundamental and constitutional rights that we've enjoyed in this country for ages. We believe latest actions within the cycle of the government have been cleverly designed to undercut our basic fundamental rights. Right? Our basic fundamental rights. So I'm trying to get the statement from the Press Union of Liberia quickly. All right, I'm trying to get that from the Press Union of Liberia quickly, and then one more thing, and then of course we hear your thoughts on these subjects. Then we'll move to something else right here on Freedom 87.9. Okay, we understand the strategy and the tactics of the government to distract all of us, take our minds and carry our minds to other things. So PL warns against amendment to KAK Act, says proposal threatens free speech. I've always told you that I said the way I would do my journalism would be, different from what you're used to, but it will be at the core of the various objectives of good journalism. Because we have the capacity, the training, the knowledge, to do the job that we've chosen to do. We're not doing it because we saw people doing it. We chose to do it, and we took our time, and we don't limit ourselves. We read, right? The Press Union of Liberia has strongly rejected a proposed amendment to the Kamara Abdullah Kamara Act of Press Freedom, warning that the draft Gender-Based Online Abuse and Harassment Act poses a serious threat to freedom of speech and expression in Liberia. So in an effort to deny your rights to freedom of speech and expression, the government of Liberia has designed what they call Gender-Based Online Abuse and Harassment Act, right? Gender-Based Online Abuse and Harassment Act. But there is the core objective of that bill or that proposal is to deny you take your fundamental constitutional rights to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Right? Speaking during a public hearing on March 9, 2026, PUF President Julius Kanumba cautioned lawmakers by amending the KAK Act, who reversed major democratic gains achieved through the law, which decriminalized several offenses historically used to silence journalists and critics. Right? But we are going back to that. We're going back to the Doe era, going back to the war times, where critics and journalists, right, were being targeted, and this is where we are going. Kanumba noted that the KAK Act played a crucial role in repealing restrictive provisions such as criminal libel against the president. Right? Let's hold that there. For us now, right? We're always critical of the president, even the travel, to the point where some of the things we're critical of the president, he's beginning to admit to them. Did he listen the president raise issue about the travel, the too much travel? Severally, have we not criticized him and his government decision to be traveling and with no dividend? He himself has realized it now. But then, if he put a restraining order, if he put in provisions that kind of basically chain us, like what the Chief Justice interpreted. The other day, I read to you what the Chief Justice said. Clearly defining and, of course, putting a border on free speech or freedom of expression, which is not, the value of the law. Which this Kanumba noted that the KAK Act played a crucial role in repealing restrictive provisions. But now, the government is trying to reintroduce those restrictive provisions within the law, and that is fundamentally undermining of our constitutional and inherent rights as citizens and as people who are enjoying these liberties as guaranteed by our laws. We must stand up, we must rise up and indicate our disapproval, everybody. Because look, you may feel now that you are a unity partisan, and so you want to keep your mouth shut on this matter. But if it happens and it goes through, it becomes a law, right? There will come a time where you'll not be in the ruling party. You'll be opposition and you want to speak. This very law that your people putting into place will restrain you from speaking. So this one here have got nothing to do with party or partisanship. This is an attack on Liberians. When you're in opposition, you must talk. You're in ruling position, you must talk. Because the cycle goes around. Today you're in ruling position. Tomorrow you could be in opposition. This is a dangerous attempt to undermine freedom of expression and free speech in the country. So the union president went further. He said, "In criminal malevolence." That's what the Kamara seek to do, to repeal restrictive provisions such as criminal libel against the president, sedition, and criminal malevolence. According to him, the proposed amendment contradicts the progress made towards strengthening press freedom and reintroducing measures that could criminalize free expression. The PUF president further argued that the proposed Protection from Gender-Based Online Abuse and Harassment Act of 2026 could allow public officials to punish individuals for criticism expressed online, while condemning insults and abusive language. Of course, nobody encourages abusive languages, but to want to use that as a yardstick to attack and wage a war on free speech, on our fundamental rights, and change the law, so that when the politicians are stealing, when you are critical on them, they use that law to come after you, to silence you, to put you in jail, right? And we sit down here. That is not going to happen. And I just knew that, of course, the PR, like I said the other day, was going to come out. And the general media should speak out on this. But it is unfortunate that most likely, you're only going to hear us talking about it. The Abu Sharif, the KOK, the Austin, the A.B. Williams. We're only going to hear talking about it. Which is so real. And everybody should speak. All those who call themselves media, veteran, blah, blah, blah. I've not heard them written anything about this silent and slow attack on press freedom that's going on by the very government they support. Under the draft legislation, individuals accused of using insulting, obscene, or harassing language on social media platforms or other electronic communication channels could face up to 2 years in prison. Are you listening to me? Up to 2 years in prison. That's what the Buakai government is trying to legislate. So the government official are going to say, oh, the man causing me. Am I right? So the man causing me. I go to court. And you hear the chief justice say he's willing, the court is open, he's willing to take these things in and you act on them. Right? This is scary. Channels could face up to 2 years in prison. Fines ranging between $50,000 and $500,000 Liberian dollars, or both, depending on the court's decision. However, the PUL maintains that Liberia's existing laws already provide remedies for such conduct. The union pointed to Section 17.3 of the Penal Law of 1978, which addressed disorderly conduct. Abusive languages, insulting, inventive. It's not like we don't have law on it. We have a law. When you go to the police, you say somebody calls you, the police charge them for disorderly conduct. Like the matter of Prophet Key and the Chief Justice, that is disorderly conduct. But then it got dealt with criminally, which is, of course, not supposed to be the case. So now that has happened, they're trying to make it a law now. This is dangerous. Without criminalizing free speech, to use disorderly conduct and abusive language through civil measures without criminalizing free speech. What did we see the Chief Justice do? We saw the Chief Justice criminalizing free speech. By what? By criminally dealing with a matter of disorderly conduct and abusive language that should have been adjudicated through the civil law court, became a matter of the Supreme Court and dealt with criminally. The organization is urging lawmakers to reject the proposed amendment and instead rely on provisions in the draft Cybercrime Act. There is also another law. There is a Cybercrime Act currently before the legislature to address issues related to online harassment and abuse, as well as bullying. So why now we focus on that? So this goes to tell you that this new act that they are pushing is a direct attack on freedom of speech and freedom of expression, because we have laws dealing with abusive languages, disorderly conduct, and there is a cybercrime act before them that they are not paying attention to address matters of cyber abuse, cyber bullying, harassment, and blah, blah, blah. The PAL stance has gained backing from legal and human rights advocates, including Kwame Clement, founding president and dean of the Liberia School of Law, and Ralph Newman of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights. The proposed bill, introduced by Nyan Flomo, representative of Nimba County District 2, has also faced opposition from lawmakers such as Sumo Moba, who warned against any legislation that could undermine press freedom and violate Liberia's commitment under international human rights conventions. Right? The Table Mountain Declaration and other human rights laws. So then, why is this government interested in attacking our freedom to express ourselves more than addressing the core issue of the economic quagmire that has engulfed the country since the ascendancy to the presidency? It's the concern. Go to the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice say, you finish defining what freedom of expression, freedom of speech is. Not within the bailiwick of existing provisions, but a whole restrictive measure introduced on freedom of expression. But Liberian, let's hear you on this, right? We'll go to something else. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call. The very freedom of speech that we've enjoyed, we've expressed ourselves, we've used to communicate our concerns to those in power and ensure that they do what they ought to do for the country is now under attack. I mean, and I like to say that clearly. So this is the time for you to raise your voice. The human rights, the advocate, the human rights lawyers, the community leaders. This is the time for you to speak out. Why? You accuse Judge Weah of being repressive. Judge Weah enhanced the freedom of the press law. He enhanced it. You accuse Ellen of being repressive. Ellen signed the Table Mountain Declaration. Judge Weah enacted the Kamara Abdullah Kamara law protecting freedom of speech, decriminalizing and removing restrictive laws. But then you came as a rescue old man. You're taking us back to Doe era. And let's hear your thought. 776 104 104 86 500 104. Those of you in the diaspora plus 231 86 500 104. When Buju Ben Keita famously denied Julie Andy in her case against Prophet Key, which law he referenced? He referenced the Table Mountain Declaration that was signed by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and the Kamara Abdullah Kamara law that was enacted by former President George Manuel Weah. But then the government is trying to undercut those ones. So now, when a powerful man in the government comes after you, what kind of law anybody come in court? Let's take this. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Okay, you are not ready yet. I don't even know what you're doing. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning to the listener.
Good morning, sir.
I'm calling you this morning from Singapore.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Abu, you know, what very powerful me about this new party is that all these laws that they put into place that they're trying to, change, are they going to, go by this law if they have to leave out tomorrow? Because we know the party got a lot of rules supporters like they get covered like they're causing president man here and there. So tomorrow when they cancel all those laws now, then tomorrow someone else become president and they start in the street.
No, but it shouldn't happen now. That's what we're asking you as a Liberian citizen. Do you think that's a good thing to do? Do you support it? Do you support it?
No. I against it for me. I against it because if the polo country is in the play, we don't have anything to say because if they say anything to anybody, they will come for you and go for you for what you say. You they were there 2 years. Because of your own parents, people 2 years for when your own body gets over the war. See, those are the things that took on 14 years back, war and kids more parents. But I don't know what kind of country we need once it is George Weah in power, but when it's for other people, they're good.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can imagine the kind of business. Good morning. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Like I always said, thank you very much for your dedication and charity and nation. This is the common book chairman. I'm taking one view where I joined from Sokola and the Shofo. No, our freedom of speech is a freedom given to us by God and guarantee and every time comes to power. What you receive freedom in the past, yeah, follow have benefited of the same freedom and decide to say we're not using your poster to us, then we are left with no option to follow moral statement and fight for this right that is guaranteed by our constitution. And let me tell you something. We are now going to file a prosecution over Okawa and where that for sure is when I'm suffering go crying. Some of us will display ourselves, will challenge our court, they will go there. Even lawyers willing to stay on us, who have a legal advice and saying our thoughts and defend ourselves. This is nonsense, and this nonsense by this talent and
so we have to engage our lawmakers and tell them that look, we did not vote you to come and take our fundamental right from us.
Exactly, comrade. Anyone who is not into taking our fight, if I get one fight,
thank you.
We're gonna take our fight. And I will be number 2 in listed right behind a person who's taking a fight to stay in line and check our non-neighbors to do the needful. And if Governor Cuomo and Arizona come there, I will send them to the border and say to them, there is where you are needed. You are not needed to come and pick up to protect us. You are needed at the border to protect our land for invaders.
Thank you very much. The thing they ain't really happen, yo. You see, Gary Kumo yesterday telling Metro people, say, don't drink liquor, you go into the graveyard. Don't imagine they can't. Good morning, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
This is Mandela from Olu.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, this is why I always saying it. I always let you look at the root cause. When you see somebody, they may coming to prominence as Chief Justice, it was an understanding between you and Waka. I will work for you. Because when they may, they utter power, we say,
No.
when he gave that statement.
They wanna we feel a bit statement right now that the one that before the lawmaker now the proposal they have there is to amend the KK Act, right? So I want to speak to that because I wanna it's in our press we have our lawmakers that we got to go to engage them. They say they won't pass. What your position on that law that they won't pass?
Yeah, Abu, before I say what I'm trying to say, they're saying the code will back it. That's what I'm trying to say now. If they do it,
so that way we shouldn't let them pass it because when they pass it, the court obviously have to interpret it and then the executive.
Fine, that's what I'm trying to say now. Okay, even though I will come to it, but that's what I'm trying to say. If they say they make him to work, they hold the 3 branches. But they're knocking out these branches. The 3, they're working together. That's my point I'm trying to put. You see it? I always tell you that we love Nico.
Coming now, they're supposed to work together in our interests. So if they're working together on Sony and in our interest, we got to raise our voice. And that's why I'm giving you an opportunity to speak. To say, the other thing you're doing, we support it right here. We join it right. So we support this decision. That's what we have to do.
Okay, we agree that we support it. But you think we don't listen to us, that's a problem we face in the country now.
We have to listen. We have to listen because they're not governing themselves. They're governing the country here. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning, man.
I'm my children.
Beautiful.
Life here is not easy on us.
I know.
They to can't give order to graveyard, taking people businesses, taking it. I'm a widow. Taking people businesses, people when I cry. When they say people when I cry, the facility they don't want to hear people cry and drinking liquor.
Oh, so
people yesterday.
They went to graveyard and started raiding people.
Yes, they raid people yesterday, and after they raid the people, the people were baking. Then the people started paying $2,000, $3,000 before they you see, one product died. The people walking our country. They think they're supposed to beat you. They're not there.
Then they passing from one graveyard to the other graveyard, taking the people liquor.
I was there.
Cutting the people liquor. They go behind all the college.
Yeah. I was there. So this are story. We problem. Oh, you know Facebook. Nobody only be right behind the other people in Ghana. Say, you don't see that? Police people. They get us to contend with. Thank you this month.
Okay, thank you very much. See? Why you won't be bringing all kind of law restricting the people? Let's say, you know, we're not living in Kim Jong-un, North Korea yet, man. Good morning.
Morning, Abu.
Morning.
Yeah, that's the prepared application for the return of President Weah, 2029. You know, when this news broke out about this bill, I told one of the talk show hosts that was Waka's sponsored bill. Okay? Waka is the one that is sponsoring that bill. The executive are the one that's sponsoring that bill in the legislature. Because how come all the institution, the anti-crime institution that's supposed to be protecting the Liberian people, and you want to go after more? The last time we checked is the LACC. Now here we are, they are now going after Kamara A, Kamara I to carry on Amendment Day. For what reason? Making law, and all the rights are there. Implementation is not going on in the interest of the people. So this one, we retake it. So on our show that we need to investigate this document before carry on our opinion on it. Because for you to come out and start looking at it, so that means you don't want to know how to do it. You don't want to know how to do it the best. No other person. So everything that have to do with the interest of the citizen, you go against it. And in fact, before you come up with looking at score, make sure you sit ever or you know that you're in the interest of the citizen. You sit with the union president and look at the issue, whether it's necessary to do so, or what you think, what would be the harm and all the kind of thing. You say, one representative, more account with or bill to amend it and do that and do that. No, it's an executive sponsor bill because they want to control the their own people. Because after this bill has been put for, listen to one of the higher up, which is a chief justice of the republic. So we need to be careful. We need to stand up to those things. And after it's not just good that we just remain home and call. And it's like go whether they placard at the capital building, say no to this bill, to say no. These are the way that you can do it. And it's very easy not to complain that we can be calling on people to be able to come in. And the calling is saying no. But it's important after is to quietly go to your lawmaker. Sit in the yard. It raises concern. You know, they will pick up it, they will flag it on the point we see. These things are okay. Or when you call, you know, they will do their part. They will not go protest, but you got to go there and quietly express your disappointment and your opposition to the particular bill that is coming on when you know that you're not in your interest. The higher one. So we hope that we'll be able to do some things from behind the scene and gather there and tell them that no, we don't need it. It's not in the interest of the Liberian people. Let us maintain what we have and be able to enforce what we have in the right way for the Liberian people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very kindly. And of course, we're still taking calls here on this conversation right here about the action to repeal the Abdullah Kamara law. Good morning, David King.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
So, amen. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Abu, you said something very important. This Abdullah Kamara Act, this was an act that was enacted by the former president to give for that leverage for people to not tell us to go for lobbying. And what we see, the people the government try to take from us that God have given us to come and take away our right to speak. And it is important for all of us across the country to love them with our own liquor and tell them that they shouldn't allow this in the past. Because I understand he was in the media space before, but I do not know what is carrying away.
You may get power now, man. Johnny, you may get power, so you don't know about on top.
Yeah, you've been a media.
All power can do, it can corrupt people.
And you've been opportune to serve as a lawmaker. It doesn't mean that you should silence people. So we are seeing the DJ Blue that got media on the other down. All the media lawmakers and like-minded media people to join the people to make sure that the money law is should pass. Because if the law pass, we just be coming to put it in jail and keeping it in jail like Uganda. Because it's the kind of Uganda style of government that you know.
When the law pass, we'll just be playing music. We can't play music, yeah. And you know, somebody in your community violating the political play will not power more inside. So it's about you. It's not about us. It's about you, the people, to stand up and say, no, we don't want it.
Exactly. So we have to tell people not to allow the draconian law to not pass against the Liberian people.
Okay.
Because it's not for the media people, but it is not for the Liberian people. People trying to silence us. They are already bringing down home. They don't want nobody to talk about it. They are killing people. They don't want nobody to talk about it. So if we allow it to pass, many people will die, and the media will see it without talking about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Exactly, because once you take our protection away, and of course, people will definitely, like I said the other day, go into censorship. And who's going to suffer? You going to suffer. You, the ordinary people, going to suffer. You're the one that's going to abuse your right, and nobody can say anything. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. No, I really said back yesterday when people who went at the start to also more especially our mothers, our sisters who are jobless and they are struggling to support their children, they were distance away from the cemetery. But this Gabo Cuomo and his police team who were not free, colorful police, who served in religion with no legacy, no benefit, no achievement, because police commander in Nigeria again. People that went down there yesterday, that took support people for rent, for poor, they just put it in the paper, and just left. That brought the cemetery, they forever never been in, now they start taking people rent. I don't know why they never left for money. Start taking people food yesterday, giving it. And the truth happened, people are laying the country again to start people rent. People grandpa, people father. So even if people do say right, they start beating you. No three police can do that. That's why it's very correct, straight. But it's like what embarrassment to the citizens in the country. Thank you.
So the way they took the people food,
They took the people food to Keba Cemetery, you know, that Keba Plaza from almost the full cemetery. If they have come with a police car, that kind of check it first. You don't find that you have money away. So they have the space, they have your phone, your super deal, they put in the paper. They have people with no active questions. They tell you that in my presence. If you see us, you want to teach us, one put him out there, they put sign like that. When you want to return here, I'll put him out there, you want to start teaching you. You try to get to the paper again, with no even, what was that thing going in the country?
So that is to tell you, when they change the law now, the way that policeman post slam your ear, kicking, taking your food. when the media consider and talking about it, say, oh, the attitude of the police officer is reckless, is this, they will come, they will arrest the man, go put the man in jail. So nobody will talk for you. Good morning. Let me take. Yeah, I'm fine. Let me take you the last caller on this. Let's hear you, Chief.
Yeah. You know that people that administration is here to come back to the old days. The government days, and then if we don't get up, this country may turn to a one-party state. So that while they are breaking all this on the other side, you know, we don't about the legislature, we don't have representation out there. If that law goes, and if that goes in the place there, they will have to accept it, to pass it. But it's citizen responsibility to reject it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And so, okay, folks. So let's hold it right there, right? Consider other things. What am I seeing currently happening in Douala? Okay, the MCC, I think, is setting some. There's a fire, and I think they're putting garbage, they're burning the dice there instead of clearing them. So I don't know what is a current picture or a video or an old one, but that is that. So, folks, our land. You see, people have a very serious attachment to land. And no one person can define and take away those rights or those ancestral attachments that people have. And history has it that society fight to the last blood to preserve their connection with land, their connection with their country. And it is over. I don't know, even the case with the Gaza Strip, the Palestinians and the Jews, what are they fighting for? That connection to the land. So you cannot ostracize, you cannot alienate, you cannot take people away from whatever they believe they have ancestral connection to. No degree of propaganda, whatever, no degree of military power has successfully triumphed in taking people away from their land. So land matter is a very serious matter. You just have to take time to read history and understand rebellions, wars that fought in places, what the purpose of those wars, what they're trying to achieve, blah, blah, and now what it is. And then you realize. So nobody walks, you turn your back on yourself. Because to accept for your rights to be taken away. Nobody live. You can't even. There's no way you can bear let somebody come and grab your land, because generation after generation have turned that parcel of land over to you. Maybe your father, your great grandparents, they had this. Then you reach your turn. Then you sit down there. One moment, somebody there come because they get power. They remove you from the land. Then you go cowardly. You walk away. You sit down. Then the land that your ancestral preserved for years and years, they're there. And the folks, they don't even acquire legally or with your consent. That's a different case. So that is the reason why we have to be very careful. For those of us that are interested in grabbing people's land, or you always have to understand, when you grab that land, State Kamba. Look at the late Senator Prince Johnson in the Fender era there. You're powerful, you use the power, you want to build a whole estate. Government land. When the time came, what happened? Clear all. So what is not for you is not for you. When we give you power to be representative, to be commissioner, to be a senator, right? To be minister, that power is not given to you to go and grab people's land and sit down where you get power. Don't lay there, not just laying down there because they're laying down there. Don't lay there or turn all people, transitional people, generation. They have traditional responsibility. They have spiritual connection and responsibility to protecting that land. If they do it, they feel themselves, they feel their ancestors, they feel their purpose. Oh, yeah? So, that's the reason why, as a country, we have laws governing land ownership. We have laws for public land, private land, community land, and all of those things. Those laws are there. If you're a big man, you're interested in the first of all, you got to understand what category of land is this. Then you assess the law on that, on the acquisition process and everything that needs to happen. And the law is fair. You go about that. Right? Responsibly, you go about that. Why abusing your office? Because you are seated in a position where to verify is much more easier for you now. You can call the land authority. You can call the National Archive to give you history about that land. But you go in the area, you see squatter on the land. You jump there, and then you use the land squatters. You get them small money. You take the land. You start paying mansion there. Then the actual owners get to know that, oh, our grandpa town along the Monrovia Kakata Highway, they be paying turning there. It looks fine. Say, oh, building hospital for the people. But you building hospital for the people, so you must go build a hospital on somebody's land. That's how it's supposed to be. So building school for the people, technical school for the people. So you building technical school for the people that own somebody's land, you must go build it. At a government school you build, you should access and look for government property and pass through the channel to acquire it to build the public school, the public hospital. But you go to other people private land, you say, oh, because you senator or you minister, you build technical college there. Yeah, we know people benefit from it, but that does not give you the right to trample on other people's right and ownership. No. These are the problems. These are the areas we're mixing it. Because we can just let any kind of people in the country. Yeah, but yeah, Papa around was there, we let them. Oh, leader. It's a serious problem. And it's going to create further problem. It's going to create tension. And we don't need it. We've suffered too much. We're lacking way behind. Up to now, we're still grappling to understand, to even develop and achieve full development in any aspect of our life we're struggling with, whether it's in the healthcare, the education, the road, the water, electricity. This is the country that is backward on every aspect. We suffer. Then to prove our laziness, as soon as I talk about it, you say, oh, the war, 20-year war, that finished ever since. One of them went to war. Other countries went to war. But again, unfortunately, because some trivial matter have held us back, we're never able to pass. So we don't need, in this day and age, anything that distracts, that takes us off, and give us more reason again to scapegoat our failures and say, oh, as a country, the reason we've not developed. No sector. Even to manage our own feces in the country, they are all littered on the streets, everywhere you pass. A society that can't manage our own waste. We can't manage our own waste properly. No part of the city you can say, yeah, the other segment, yeah. When you say you're looking clean from the beginning, when you go in the middle, you see poo water wasting there. Then you go to the tail end, you see unregulated dump site. until we're able to organize these things properly and demonstrate civilization in our attitudes and actions collectively. Now, one may be offense, you paint it, you plant flower, then you say you civilized. No, it has to be collectively. It has to be a picture that's portrayed holistically. That we're able to match our conversations about civilization, cleanliness, neatness with, right, the actions and our organization and the activities that we see. We're raising money every day, We're in Central Monrovia, small Central Monrovia. Right from the Gabriel Tugger Bridge to where? Fresh Creek, then. Then we, right in our lake corridor, we are to manage poo-poo, we are to manage waste. All on the street, you see sand, dirt, paper, littering all over the place. We're still struggling to do that. Some other people get power. They're thinking about innovating strategy, responsibly crafting laws and programs that will address these things as a country, but rather they're interested in abusing power. The people already poor. Then you go for them, right? You trample on them, take their land. Or you grab one member of the family who does not have the exclusive authority to sell the land, you grab them, start giving them more money, they go against the rest of the family, they illegally take the land, they put you in charge of the land, the other people are there. And you feel accomplished. It's this problem. We have to solve it. It has to be solved as a country. It has to be solved as a government. So the government has to do it. The government has to find a way out. When partners come to help, we corrupt the process. When partners come to get involved, the system they bring, we corrupt it. Land administration. I listened to the communication man from the archives laying accusation at the feet of the land authority on these. That it is baffling that land authority has issued deeds to people predating its existence as an authority. So, for example, how you go establish 2002? And then with the authority to give deed. But then you establish 2002, but then you not give deed to somebody in 1950. There's no problem there. You're not even existing in 1950, but somebody said they get D from you, 1950 D to you. How? I say it's a problem that we need to sit down as a country. Our leaders, got to sit down, and I don't know, man. It's just problem. You need to fix it. It needs to be fixed. We don't need all this noise. We have a lot of responsibility on our hands as a country and people. How do you feel in this day and age, right? When you go to your own home, it's challenging, no rule. You go there, you're discomfort. You can't even stay in your own county because no electricity, no water. How many years it will take us to complete connecting Liberia to the power, right? To the water grid. Just Monrovia. How many years it will take us before we extend the other area and ensure effective, efficient connection? Right? Take civilization to the people. Let people benefit. And then government still be knocking your chest. You're getting all the money. Our government fee you. Liberian government is fee. All the years, all the government you're paying, what you're not achieved. All still looking at least better. 21st century, we're in 2026. About 90% of the population, you know how a shower looks like. They didn't know. Flush toilet, they didn't even. But how they would know now? They did not come to a society where you see the infrastructure in place. If the infrastructure in place, they will immediately be oriented, they will know about it. Now I see some of our men be working out, you're taking my pocket. Especially our sisters that are in America and other places when they're chewing say that each other, oh, you still taking by in pocket. You think the person, you won't blame the person for taking by in pocket? That government failed the people. They've been collecting money, exerting power, right? Riding BB cars. They've now brought the society up to the point where successive generations will start to transition from one way of life to the other. They see where the great-grandparents live in the country, taking by a bucket. And they see where this generation is also taking by in pocket, right? Still saying out over the river bank, right, to ease themselves. How do we sit down and say we're a successful society? We have transitioned. How are we transitioning our people? But every day, the very people you call leaders and politicians, they ferment division and hatred among the people while they are failing on governance and leadership, transformation and development. They're failing on it. Changing no system, absolutely nothing. Look at Liptelco, for example. Given public resources to provide public telecommunication services. For how many years they've been there? No improvement. No improvement, absolutely not. So Celcom and Orange, Celcom and Lone Star can deal with Liberian consumers in the telecommunication industry anyhow they like. We put our money on our phone, they collect from there. No alternative. The state infrastructure responsible to be able to offset that and challenge and create means to absorb, they cannot. They can't provide it. Internet, communication, zero. But every year we put money in the budget, we give it to them. So we build institutions just for people to go sit down there and take pay. But those people sitting there, they're making no meaningful contribution to transformation and progress. These are the things we need to be looking at daily. Instead of hating the man because the man aligned with CDC, hating the man aligned with Unity Party, denying the man opportunity, say because the man supported the previous administration. Mr. Boakai, are you concerned about the colossal state failure that's happening under your watch? Look, what's the public infrastructure that you've contributed, you've added, the enhancement that you've brought? Besides Nicotech Scholarship, you lie to the country. 10,000 youth program, you lie to the RCT program, you lie to the country. Right? That leadership there, that governance there, that president there, you lie, bold-faced lies on things, making fun out of the people. When you leave the borders of Liberia, you go, you see, the other countries are not 100%, but you see small progress. Why are we small progress? That hating. Go demolish opposition party headquarters. Yeah, if you achieve. The board never come back to power. Should that be the conversation in a civilized democracy? Never come back to power? Is that what democracy is structured for? No. Right? Because you're not all knowing. And the society must not be programmed to believe in that. And there is only one direction. There has to be alternative. And the government must work to sustain and maintain that alternative. That competition must remain there. It's also the responsibility of the government to protect opposition. But again, what do we have? No. So those are our internal issues that we need to deal with. Talk about them among ourselves. Fix them. Make progress on it. When they made you senator, to take people land. So like I said, beginning Monday, I'll start to bring a lot of victims with testimony that have been denied the opportunity for their voice to be heard. Me, I know they be politicians, they come and get a serious problem with me. Because I will bring people here, they will tell you stories about land grabbers, they will explain their ordeal. Some of them have gone to court, they've won it, they got documents, but people are powerful, they're connected. They're sitting on their land. The people ain't get money to do what they can to get their land back from them. So why do you do that to your people? I'm calling Nemo, but you just wait. Monday, you don't miss it. Just come. I told you I will fix the land. Nobody come and made it to the north now. Oh, the breaking board land, the politicians can use it the way they want to use it. But me, I'm interested in getting to the bottom of it and Nimi and Shimi, the land grabbers, so that other people will learn from it. and exposing the reality. Let it come to light. Then the people who are responsible that will take charge and execute it the way they have to execute it. When I do that, I feel accomplished. I leave from here. Oh yeah, it's okay. There was a time we hear about landlords everywhere. We seen yellow machines. They're bossing people home. And we try to understand. No sign. You thought the other person in my land. So everybody here with me on the surface. I said, no, we can't stay on the surface. We gotta go down. Understand? Okay, why they think is just continuing? Sometimes these very greedy politicians, they enter into people who will not know all the ones. They will enter into people, they will go, they take other people's land. They will be in the backup. And then when generally carry a microphone to them, say, oh, the government, we got to face it, we got to do the one. What about they are? You will see the hands. We already identifying the hands. It's about putting them up for you to know. Fellow Liberians, this is the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9, your favorite breakfast platform, where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development without fear nor favor. We speak truth to power, because the goal is to ensure that we are able to affect society in a positive way and ensure the change that's needed and required to get our country competing and going forward. Okay, so let's take a break with Crime Stopper Liberia. Once we come back, we move to the border dispute. What do we know? What have we heard from official sources? I'll bring you up to speed with that. This break, Crime Stopper Liberia. We'll be right back.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands, for the right authority. Really can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, that mean you check it. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm about to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own Oldman Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia is the official partner and sponsor of the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. Welcome back to the final lap of the conversation right here. And so now, okay, let me do something. You know, this profession of ours that we've chosen is very delicate. It's very structural. And you gotta do it bearing in mind your duty and responsibility to the society. So when this whole border dispute began, to those of you who follow us regularly, we were clear. Say, look, this thing is troubling. So we needed to hear from the authorities. Because this is not one matter that you want to just opinionate about and just start talking. And, because sometimes you have to make sure that your views are official. The views you're sharing, they are verified. As a journalist and a media person, because they're not all internal issue that we're talking anymore. They wanna this is external aggressive actions that's going on that interferes or comes in conflict with. It's a national security matter. It's a crisis communication, and the ethics of journalism requires discreetly that those matters are handled with care, because there are consequences. You have, in reporting on matters like that, you have to consider the potential consequence of your report. And that is why you have to make sure that your information that you share are verified and from authoritative sources, right? Not just somebody. Because, for example, anybody can take camera, stand somewhere, and start to commentate. Oh, they come in profile. That could be far from the actual reality. Or somebody can take a camera and say things the other way around. It will be far. So when you get those things, and then you begin to inform the public about it. And once you take the painstaking approach, you'll get the facts. Void of sentiment, void of emotions, blah, blah, blah. Because you want to be careful that you don't ignite a conflict situation just by your singular report, where people will be injured, life will be taken, because you as a journalist, you just saw something without establishing the root cause or doing all of your necessary ethical verifications. You get overwhelmed by the sentiment, and then you take your camera, you open your camera, you start talking, wow. And then if you're talking, you generate, a kind of outrage in the people, and then they react. And as a result of that reaction, lives are lost, properties are damaged, injuries, and all of these things. You're the one journalist, you finish doing that kind of report, and you say, Then after all, you gotta know that the basis of your reportage was false, misleading, and far-fetched. Then the country spend money, the country lose life, because you created a situation that became uncontrollable due to your reportage. So these are the instances where you expect that this quote-unquote so-called veterans and big-headed media, independent people, this is where you expect them to guide the young folks along these lines. Because when the matter extend, become something like that, you have to approach it in a discreet way and stuff. Like when even the situation with the brother that got murdered in Ghana, you also how we handle that. You also how we handle that. Because once it's between country and country, that's why we have government instituted and channels are there. The citizen journalists will open the camera, they'll be talking, blah, blah, blah. Who told you, oh, God, yeah, what the government? Because, of course, the essence of paying the people we pay at the embassy in Ghana is not for them to sit down there for Liberian to be died, to make sure and account for every Liberian life in Ghana and use every diplomatic channel. And that is the reason why they are accorded privileges in Ghana as diplomatic officials. They are accorded privileges to ensure that their presence becomes a guardian and protection. See, we're Guinea. But the name ain't a bougie, know that one. So that I want a job to correct and guard them, keep them behind. But equally so, we also observe some things that are not supposed to be. So now, let's go to what the government said about the situation. On yesterday, the government of Liberia, one day ago, The government of Liberia issued a statement through the Ministry of Information, and this is what the government said. The government of Liberia urges calm as diplomatic efforts continue over Liberia-Guinea border situation. The government assures all citizens and residents that it has taken seize of the situation unfolding along the Liberia-Guinea border and is actively engaging the matter to establish diplomatic channels. Right? We'll come to that. This effort is to ensure that tension along the border are addressed peacefully and in the spirit of good neighborliness that has long characterized relations between the two sisterly nations. The Liberian government is working in close coordination with the relevant national and local institutions who are also in contact with their Guinean counterparts to prevent any escalation and to promote dialogue aimed at resolving any concerns arising along the border. As part of these efforts, His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boakai Sr. has, over the past few days, dispatched a high-level inter-ministerial delegation to the border with Guinea comprising of the Ministries of Defense, Local Government, Foreign Affairs, and Justice. Those were the actions that the government said they took. But when did the government communicate this to the people? Just yesterday. And this thing has been happening for how many days? About 4 to 5 days. The timeliness, the timing. The discussion focused on addressing the current situation at the border, strengthening cooperation between local authorities on both sides, and ensuring that peace and stability are maintained for the benefit of citizens residing in border communities. And ensure that peace and stability are maintained for the benefit of citizens residing in border communities. How they call the border town there, sir? You see the reason why the young people came out in the town there, which is very justified. They never had assurance. The matter went 1 day, 2 days, they alarm, but there's no assurance, no guarantee, no security. And they opted to stand up. There were vulnerabilities. That's how the people stood up. But let's continue with the government's statement. The government of Liberia remains committed to resolving all matters through peaceful dialogue and diplomacy, consistent with Liberia's long-standing foreign policy of maintaining friendly relations with its neighbors in the region. Meanwhile, the government urges citizens, particularly those in border communities, to remain law-abiding and to rely only on verified information from official government sources. This is what it's supposed to be in matter of crisis. The crisis thing that not only joke with, because I want that life and death. You can't just run your mouth. Always verify information from official government sources. The public is also encouraged to avoid spreading unverified reports that may create unnecessary fear or misunderstanding. The government assures the Liberian people that it will continue to keep the public informed as engagements with the Guinea authority progress. That was the statement of the government of Liberia. The official position of the government of Liberia on the matter. 1, the timing of the government statement is troubling. 2, the statement did not state or inform the Liberian people on what is going on. What happened? There is tension to the border. What happened? As a government, right? You said you're engaged. You've dispatched, the president said he has dispatched people. So they went. What happened? What's going on? That land business? That rural business? Or that encroachment? What have you established now that you're engaging? What did you notice in your engagement with the people in the region? Are Guineans trying to claim Liberia land? Can we say that for fact? Is that what you're trying to resolve? What are you trying to resolve? What is the dispute about? What is the dispute about? Before now, you can tell us what you're doing to resolve it. Did the government say that? No, the government did not say that. The government puts a foot around the issue and only tell us about what they're doing to resolve it. What are you resolving? Is it actually a land dispute? Because we saw videos where Guinean soldiers on the Liberian side, across the river, on the Liberian side, hoisting their flag. What are their claims? Are they claiming that land? Because it has to be established. And the channels have to be known. And then we also heard and saw narratives that it is a dispute over the Makona River. The Makona River is the river separating or creating the natural borderline between that side of Guinea and Liberia, Gegedu and Foya district. So what about the Makona River that brought about it? We've heard that a company believed to be a construction company, road construction company, in Foya, started mining activities in the river. And according to sources, they were mining sand to carry out the road construction work that they are doing. Other narrative also has it that the Guineans across the river became concerned that the mining that the guys are doing, they must have been mining mineral from the river, which they believe is in violation and did not meet their consent, because the two countries share the river now. So if you want to award mineral mining contract on the river, you have to put the other party in the know. If Guinea want to do so, you have to put Liberia in the know. If Liberia want to do so, you got to put Guinea in the know. And their soldier came and arrested the company, say BK Construction, right? And arrested and confiscated the equipments that are being used and took it across. So we want to know what you're doing in the river, what you're taking from the river. So in all the tension going on, so now the people that can bring trouble, when the trouble starts in and escalate, they can be there. So the BK company that went out and started doing that mining, that's supposed to come and tell us what's going on. We even hear about them. No journalist has attempted to speak to the manager of BK Infoya there to tell us, and to hear from them, because they were the one the people engaged. BK, what happened? Your company name is into this. What were you doing in the Makona River? Were you mining? What were you mining? Sand. And what are the Guineans claiming? The Guineans say we're mining gold, or we're mining diamond, or we're mining this. Right? But nobody, I've spoken to BK, I've not seen. So yesterday I had an opportunity to call in Foya there. I saw a friend. I said, man, can you try to link us to BK? Because I don't know how we can speak to any Guinean people because they're speaking French. We don't be able to understand all that. Maybe BK will give us some clue on what happened. And then we'll be able to understand how has the matter moved from a company trying to mine the Makona River to Guinea coming across the border and hosting flare. There are two different things there, right? Company go mine the river. You say, oh, they're not supposed to mine there. Okay, then you'll handle that one. G to G. Government to government, you'll handle that. Then, but what I want to get to do is you coming again to host a flare on this side. In my mind, there's a whole different thing right there. No. So the government issued a statement days later and speaks nothing about those issues. So officially, we don't even know what actually happened. But unofficially, we're hearing that dispute over the Makona River, and we're also seeing encroachment action to laying claim to our territory, parts of our territory. Because if you move across the river and hoist a flag, that flag is indicating a desire to lay claim to that part of the land. The government didn't say anything like that. The government didn't talk to us about anything. The government only say the same people, they go negotiate, they go resolve. Resolve what? Citizens are concerned. So if there is anything, right, the government of Liberia is responsible. They did not handle the matter very responsibly and in a dedicated fashion. I believe so strongly. Because when matters like this happen, you see, our brothers along the borderland, in the border town, their towns, their villages, their lives were being put at risk for several days. Several days, they were left vulnerable. Anything could happen to them. In the end, the government will issue that kind of statement. This is abandonment of your duty. This is neglect. This is neglect of your constitutional duty to protecting the territorial integrity of Liberia. This is failure. Nobody can. Oh yeah, diplomatic conversations can be going on, and there can be physical presence, right, to deter encroachment. I am doubtful if the joint security were going to remain on our side of the border, that the Guineans were going to cross to come and hoist flag there. I doubt it. Why did we desert the place? Under what arrangement? Because before they hosted the flag, there was a meeting held. Sakila Nyumale need to talk to us. Members from the Ministry of Justice need to say something. Right? I saw a photo of the defense, not the defense, but the chief of staff was also there. So we are senior. And subsequently, when they left, the place became deserted. And then the Guinean came and hoisted their flag. So why you want made it thing like it is a responsibility of the citizen when we ignoring the official attitude that transpired? So what's going on? What actually happened? That's what we want to know. We're asking the government. We are concerned with our land, the safety of our people. And yesterday, it was reported that one young man got shot in the leg. If the government had acted rightly, in my mind, nobody is going to get injured. Nobody is going to get shot. The situation have not reached where it reached. The panic will not have spread the extent to which it have spread. But while that was going on, our lawmakers were setting up Capitol Hill and setting up the sergeant at arms to go and arrest the Minister of Finance for what? Gas coupon and scratch card. So the Minister of Finance didn't get a gas slip and scratch card yet. The border people's lives in towns and villages are on the brink of collapse. So in all of what we are doing, national security and the protection of our national territory comes first. How can the people who are educated, sophisticated, 2 years down the road to defend our laws, they have combo and bastardized our laws. 2 years down the road to mine our territorial integrity, they have slipped. And somebody won't make that thing like, that's serious national security matter we're talking here. We pay people our taxes, our salaries are cut. We're doing businesses. They're finding us, they're taking fees and everything. And I like the way my own big brother 102 put it. that those very villages are way along that land selling their cola, the taxes they can pay, that what you used to pay. They just sat down in Monrovia here. It had to go 2, 3, 4 days before you even issue statement or went there. What was the assurance? You expose vulnerable youths to danger. They are patriots, they're nationalists. So just stand up. Do they have the capacity to stand? No. Do they have the training, the tactical training? No. They stood by heart. When the government remained silent, when the security forces were nowhere to be seen. So they said, let's lay racks in our stakes and our collars and just be standing here. And made noise, and that's what they did. They made noise. And the children are going to get afraid to go stand beyond. Who knows? Maybe the Guinean flags will remain hoisted there under the cloud of darkness, because our government, when they have meeting in Kimba, they issue no statement. They say no defense. They say no security. They say, okay, we finish talking about Manasa. So temporarily, in the meantime, right? Mr. Chief of Staff, please send one platoon or battalion. Let it just go be, observing. Let it just go be there, making sure that no bush shake. Then the local people in the environment, then along the border towns and stuff, will feel secure and assured. They will go about their normal businesses, right? But once they see foreign officers on their territory, and they not see anybody there to get them the assurance that you are protected, they will not go about their normal activities in peace or we can. They will always be threatened. In fact, the old man started packing their load in some of the villages and started coming in war. Oh, you don't even see that one there. Our people felt extremely unsafe. They started leaving. 7 days later, before the government issued statement, in the statement, they didn't even say nothing. Hey, Wakai. So what happened? And then, the way the ordinary people will react to things will not be the way the people who are trained and educated and with the knowledge to deal with it will react. So the young people went there. All they know, they think they're reacting to what they're seeing. They're reacting to what they're seeing. They don't even know what's going on. They don't even care. They don't have the capacity to evaluate what is going on. So they're reacting. They go, no, they're going to put your flag on, blah, blah, blah. Made noise, start making noise, started insulting, blah, 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 and doing all they can. All they care, they must do something to preserve the integrity of their land. That's what they did. Then we asked, where was our government? Yeah, the statement here, the government said, okay. As part of these efforts, His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boakai Sr. has, over the past few days, to tell you that ever since, dispatched a high-level inter-ministerial delegation to the border with Guinea, comprising of the Ministries of Defense, Local Government, Foreign Affairs, and Justice. So they went there. But ask the young people that stood on and went and put our flag on whether they saw them. What assurance they gave them? That yesterday they saw the vulnerability. This is exposing. This is to say that we have our people in the army, our AFL folks, they're in the barracks there. And most times, they're receiving political instructions. Former President Weah is coming back to the country and they're deployed to the airport. Complete political instructions. They're implementing political instructions. While our borders are vulnerable, you just having beginning in the town and village, the LRS men will sit down in the town, then they send the beginning in the bush to go stand near the borderline. That what happened here. All that noise we're making here. But then when you cross, you go on the other side, whether it's to the Ivorian side, the Guinean side or the Sierra Leonean side, you will see security officers on the other people on the side manning their borderland. But when we come to our own side, you see the whole place deserted, empty. The only thing you can say how many cars are on some truck passing with goose. Then the cars are pray. Just think. I mean, this is the fight. We can't run the country like that. We have to fix it. Maybe from here now, the government will decide to deploy our brothers along the border. A signal to our neighbors that, oh yeah, we respect the sisterly relationship, but we do not joke with our territorial integrity. George Weah would have said that former president led this country for 6 years. No part of Liberia, the poor Liberia flare down and pull another country flare up. That's serious matter. But Bouakai, for the 2-year experience, understand government, politics, leadership, blah, 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 blah. All the experience, take it, shopping your head. But 2 years down the road, they pull Liberia flare down and pull Guinea flare up on Liberia territory. Can't give any reason why. No explanation, no reason. And then you're wasting your time on social media talking other things. That's serious matter. Very serious, not concerning. The young man preserved Liberia territorial integrity and community. But mind you, George Weah was clearly opposed to the junta in Guinea. He stated his opposition and never worked with them, but they never saw. They were never ever. They were never ever through. That's why they come across any part of our borderland. Go attempt to pull flare up 6 years from 2018 to 2023 until he handed power over. Not a day. Tell me where, when? He went to the United Nations, condemned the military takeover in Guinea, and the Guinean junta knew his position, but he stood his ground, protected Liberia territorial integrity. You think your capability and your ability is determined by your age or because somebody say you get experience? No. Because Mr. Weah, for the most part, and whether you agree or not, wasn't conflicted. He did not have conflicting allegiance. But you have the old man Bouakai who wants to be president of Liberia and at the same time president of the Kisi Confederation. You be president of Liberia at the same time you will be president of the Kisi Confederation. So matter comes between the part of Liberia that connects to the Kisi region in Guinea. Is it old Sakila? We gotta go and handle the thing a lot tender way. See a matter going. You're not talking to the country. You're not putting people there to give assurance to the citizen that, oh yeah, in the face of all this, we got you. And whether it's a BK company, investigate. So assuming the BK company action and of course mining something is verified and established to be the reason why these things happen. So you mean if there was any potential escalation there or anything about escalation that was going to happen in life and everything would have happened simply because we irresponsibly assigned company and those companies went and started doing illegal things, and because of their illegal action, Liberia got in problem, and then there's there's a rivalry or there's a war situation between Guinea and Liberia. Who do you hold responsible? Isn't the government? It's the government. We have a governance problem, whether you like it or not. And this is it. So Unity Party, you promise leadership, you promise governance, right? But you're failing on it at local level, and it's getting exposed. You go to the law, you butcher the law. 2 cardinal duty and oath you saw to protect the territorial integrity of Liberia, and you also defend the laws and constitution of the republic. Fellow Liberians, you been slapping the law in the face all over, kicking it, turning it upside down. You finish. Then now can you put flare up on our land? Then you say, well, Isn't George Weah better a president than you are? 0776 104 165 104 plus 2. So the government have to issue another statement to tell us what happened. Your so-called educated people, y'all gotta tell them to go right. This is gibberish. Oh yeah, we should come. So as of now that I'm speaking to you, yesterday they sent police officers, ERU officers, and the police 102 escorted them. Even with that, it is not the duty of the police for external, borderland security. And you send police people there. The Guinea people and the police people you saw, then why you send police people? Why the people doing anything upside down? So overnight, we also learned that the army dispatched people. I think they should be along the border there now. When you do that, the communities will feel safe. Tension will go down. Tension will climb down there because the government refusal to man our borders in the face of aggression. Right? So, as you have done that now, then you can continue your diplomatic, whatever you say you're on. Then later on, you tell what happened, what Guinea people wanted. What was the tension or the conflict about? And how we're supposed to run the country. But Baga said, no, they're running it the UP way. And when you tell the people, say, oh, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And we have a commitment to the truth, say the truth. The people get vexed, they go bring their new press law, they come their arrest law, they go put in jail. When Philly will come back again, we'll start from the simple, we'll stop. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu Sherry. Let me say good morning to the listener. The nearest Robert, who let it go, Santa Grandmother. I'm calling this morning for the Congress sitting in Congress. Abu, I'm not surprised at what for because we thought people would say Mr. Baka explaining to the president is a disaster and calamity. Mr. Baka would do everything to destroy this country. Abu, you remember when there's a Guinean that left and that ran away from that junta leader in order to be killed into that for refuge when he was arrested and placed in jail.
But I see where Guineans dressed in their fatigue. I talk about it on the radio. All the way to the police headquarters.
This guy was killed over to the junta leader, stepped in the net, and he was executed. After the next week, Mr. Baka is facing. The police they allow it with the junta leader and then see the communicate back up to the bring coming on Mr. Baka. So when you say Guinea coming to the one to take over that place, it was because the president is going to know. Mr. Baka is going to know what is going on.
So we don't even know what they wanted to do. We don't even know. You have to hoist the flag, but we don't even know. The government is not even telling us what is going on. Thank you very much. This is what the ambassador, Labrador ambassador to Conakry, ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary to the Republic of Guinea, Ambassador Fokpa Gizi Sr., is calling on Liberians both at home and abroad to exercise restraint and avoid comments that could escalate tensions surrounding the current situation along the Liberia-Guinea border in Lofa County. Speaking on the closing argument radio program on Wednesday night, Ambassador Gizi urged citizens to promote peace and responsible dialogue as authorities work to address what he described as a misunderstanding between the two neighboring countries. Guineans are not and will never be our enemies, Ambassador Gizi said. Our two nations share deep historical ties and a common destiny. The Liberian envoy emphasized the outstanding relationship between Liberia and Guinea, recalling Liberia's role in supporting Guinea during its struggle for independence from France. According to him, that historical partnership remains a strong foundation for continued cooperation and peaceful coexistence. Ambassador Gizi also referenced the historical meeting in Sanikole, Nimba, blah, blah, blah. So, it's a story. So what happened? That's what we want to know. What happened? Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Brother Muhammad from Amagashi.
Go ahead.
That be very frank. People, they know the trouble they're looking for. They don't think about willing innocent citizen. The Internal Affairs Minister, along with the representative Thomas Farr, they are fully aware of what happened.
And they're not telling others. You're beating around the bush. They went there. What happened?
They are so greedy. They don't want to tell the company. They don't want to tell the company to go under Makuna.
Okay.
They don't want to tell the company to go under Makuna. How you leave all the river, you go to Makuna, and you know Makuna is a boundary between Guinea and Liberia. But since a broker interest, they still remain silent on it. Yeah.
Okay.
But you see, this country, finally, we have to be very careful of discussing Madingo people. It is what done in Fayamo, connecting with Masanta, the Madingo settlement. Palestine is ringing all over.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be very disastrous. So,
all Madingo people. But now, so like Gizi people, the Gizi people key, in fact, the history from the Gizi people in Guinea, can you imagine the message as it's now when you were interviewing? He said from Makuna, 45 kilometers within Liberia is for them. I mean, for them. What's the distance from
and at the Kisi territory, they're laying claim to. That's not possible. But anyway, thank you very much. We don't want to make this travel. We can't fall for the regular. Don't want it like that cliche conversation. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Go ahead, Mr. Kubo.
Well, just listening to you really looking for the Liberia about the reform. I think it is important. You might expect the ambassador to shift the name of Liberia. We are not the one that has to come over. Is the ambassador trying to tell us that Nigeria is at a cause for the people to come over?
They are not telling us something, my brother. They are not telling us something. Because now you listen to the comment, he's saying that, Liberians should be free from comments that will, and stuff. So he's saying the comment Liberian made now, that what made people to come. Is that what you're trying to indicate? Tell us what happened. You carry a company there. The company goes start digging in the river. They both say the company has to dig there. Now, brother, you're leaving all that one. You don't tell Liberian. You're talking different things.
That is his role. The next thing is, what did the Internal Affairs Minister discuss in Guinea? Why didn't he give up the situation of the interest of the
nothing. They didn't give up anything. They just went there, they came back, they sat down quiet. No, they didn't talk anything.
They didn't talk anything. What's happening?
Days later, the tension, young people have the ghost stand down there, took the race. Right? On arm. They're facing Soya people.
At that moment, we expected the president to come and address the nation. And what happened? You saw Guinea coming from Guinea and hosting Guinean flag on Liberia territory.
What happened? Why did that happen? What is going on? That's what we need to know. And only the government can tell us. Because they send delegation, Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Local Government. They want to come out. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mandela from the Oro. You see, what I want to say, these people there, they don't know good governance. They don't know how to rule country. They rule their country as if to say that they are private wood that they are running. So anything, they are not entitled to hear what is happening. They will not give us the update. What they will do, they will hide information and be running the country in their own way. People don't know governance here, that the problem will face everything they had in it. Because what is here say? What are you talking about? We were talking about this. Yeah, I get this, but it's not from their mouth.
No,
now the meeting is you see the people, they come to power now in our interest. Or in their interest to loot, to vampire our country and get financial riches and bring the book of confidence. So they will have share and thing. So this is why they bring the kind of confidence. They give it part into the red procedure. They bring them behind bad door, and the people working, they getting shares. So when they get all the power, they will be getting the shares for the company there. They think they started 20 years ago in any government that they are competing. Now they think are happening now. Why are they following? fails to also be at the border to engage in any external aggression. That's what I know. That's what it will be.
Yeah.
When people come,
Hey, simple.
then you go set political run away.
I got the money.
They say you want to run away. Hey, Marky.
The time the young boy Philip put it under control. I turn the army folk go there.
Yeah, but I wonder that later on, well, where they finish them, people after they finish hiding, then they come down when the children finish grabbing the people, who's our part of flag, then they put him there actually in the village again. Oh, so how many people they kill? Oh, so when they kill, yeah. When they shoot it up,
oh yeah,
I said it was too funny. Yes, you go in the video, put him there. I see
the ordinary citizen.
Yes, seriously. Yes. Also, how many people they kill? Oh, so when they came, they came. Wow. When they shooting up in the air, or they were shooting the people. Can you imagine?
I'm telling you, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, just imagine. And this is where we got to put our attention. Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, at least, thank God that situation is under control, but our government is not doing well for us. Just as the holiday is saying there, yesterday I was passing to JFK. See some police, security personnel telling voting there that, oh, it is good that the citizens came out, at least they enjoy what the citizens are doing. But when it comes to the citizens right against the government there, they say they are fighting against the government.
When black people go protest for that, right? You can see all the BB weapons and they can jump on the people, tear gas them.
Exactly so. That will be that people went to man over there and give me or the citizen a word of it, the government a word of it. They decide to come in. That's not the way they're supposed to come into. Coming by putting your neighboring side down.
Listen, but that's what we've said, right? That's violating international laws. But then we are perturbed by the silence and the snail pace at which our government was moving towards the matter and the delays that saw it grew tensional and citizens had to risk themselves to go there and become defenders when we are paying taxes and paying people to be our defenders. That's what we're asking. And we read the government statement. We did not see anything in the government statement that told us the purpose or the reason. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know. I don't know. We gotta ask Jeremy Pia to tell us. And this is why they will not accept to take our calls or sit down on our platform. Because if any representative from the government comes sit down here and we talk about this, I'll embarrass them. Because small questions they will not be able to answer. They will not. They will go sit down somewhere. Oh, you have to script. Then they will call another body. Go no accountability. People are going to die down there for free. So Shad Campbell is a Liberian. I don't know. But he sounded very insightful on the matter and what was happening. He's one person that shared the information about that BK enterprise. This is what he wrote. He said, Guinea Liberia land dispute. Shad Pennon Campbell writes. The OAU states that when a river forms a natural border between two countries, ownership is given to the country the river originates. Yes, the Makona River belongs to Guinea. It's within the Guinean's territory. Liberian flag was placed at that river for the longest. Today, the flag was finally removed and was taken to the checkpoint. Now, here is what happened. Liberia and Guinea have been having this territorial dispute for the longest time. Guinea owns that river. You can go and carry on sand mining there without the people consent. What brought the Guinean army in Liberia was because a sand mining company identified as BK Enterprise Incorporated started operations in the river, and that was not to be done. The Guinean soldiers went there and stopped sand mining operation and even seized their equipment. Liberian officials quickly went there and had brief meeting with them, and later crossed the river for an exclusive discussion. Liberia appealed to the Guinean government and assured them of working closely with them. The Liberian government also begged the Guinean government to release the Sen Mining Company equipment, as that equipment is being used to get Sen to carry on development in Liberia, according to them. Yes, the Guinean army have agreed to release the equipment, but asked to stop the Sen Mining Company. They want to test the equipment if they are not being used to mine gold, diamond, and other minerals. The Guinean government said if the equipment is being used to mine the above-mentioned minerals, they won't release them. Now, Guinea's Ministry of Mines and Geology will carry on an assessment to the river and the Sen Mining Company equipment to ensure a transparent and certified operation. The equipment will be tested beginning tomorrow. Thank God our officers came sooner to settle this. Good decision taken by Guinea. There's a huge possibility that Sen Mining Company mining other minerals in the area. Liberia is blind. Our leaders aren't working in our interests. Guinea must not allow anyone mine mineral from their river. Those guys be stealing our minerals daily. The meeting today lasted for almost 8 hours. Guinea gave Liberia strong warning. So this is an opinion by Shad Penham Campbell. He's a Liberian, all right? So he wrote this. So the underlying thing, and that's why we need our government to tell us officially what happened. Because if you say construction company to go Beirut, what am I going to do mining? Whether in Guinea River or in Liberia River, why should they? Under what term? So could that be the reason why our people, they went and had a meeting, but they won't tell the country what happened? Guinea men come and host their flag for what? Sakila Yimane went there. Go check on local government page. You don't see one statement. Minister of Justice, they don't issue anything. Defense, nothing. I tried reaching out to the Assistant Minister for Public Affairs, Ministry of National Defense, Oscar Moba. He texted to say that they're in meeting. They can't say anything. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm okay. Let's hear you.
That's my first time calling on your station.
Go ahead. You're welcome for the first time.
I'm driving John Allen. I really was driving on that side. I'm a 55-year-old. Since that time, start driving on that road. Now, what I would used to go there, the pay for the Guinean. That Guinean used to control the pay.
What is your name? You call your name.
My name is
Vambanye?
Yeah.
You say you used to drive there?
I used to drive there for Moria Soma. That Guinea, we all know that Guinea will own that water. If you go there, you want to do anything that you're supposed to consult the people. Even you might say no, you might know me. You might want to follow Ranger.
Okay. All right, Babe. Thank you very much. Right? We hear all the story now from the people. But then we hope the government next statement in this regard will give us the details as a country on what actually transpired. We need to know. The government must come open, clean, and tell us what actually happened, because our compatriots are going to lose their life down there. Then by now we're talking about different things. Like one of the callers said, assuming they were going to be the bullet point with Masanta, right? With the perception and sentiment for Mandingo people, because that side of the border is sharing border with Guinean towns hosting Mandingo people. The whole thing is going to be blown out of proportion. Before we get to understand the real issue, it's late. So we must not allow the country and the people to go through situation, right? And then we're not proactively providing governance and leadership. That's the essence of the conversation. Proactive governance and leadership. if we're going to be very proactive, that noise are not going to go that far. We didn't do that, folks. And that's all the time we get to be here. Thanks to all of you that call in, those of you that play the listening role. It has been a wonderful interaction with you on this Monday morning. Did I say Monday? On this Thursday morning presentation of the nation's premier breakfast show, the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9, where we educate, inform, and of course entertain. Until I see you next week, do have yourself a blessed day from the nation's capital, Monrovia. Bye-bye.
Wamanya be yaba, wamanya be nyagate, wamanya